Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. Hello, Jay. Barely recognized you today.
Freshly shorn.
Do you feel like you've lost weight?
I feel like there's a weight off me. Yeah, I feel like I feel agile. I feel quicker.
Was it hard to do?
No, dude, it's badass. It was
Really?
like a small. It was like a chipmunk coming off my face.
Yeah.
You know,
What do you do with the sink then? You're a sink guy,
dude,
right?
I put a whole towel over the sink credenza area because I knew this was
Really?
going to be messy, and it was just.
See, I'm stuck doing that, like turn the water on and guide it down.
Sure.
And it's
No,
a
this
big
was too
mess.
much. This was
full on.
big.
Yeah, you look. My reaction when you first walked in was that of seeing a freshly balded Big E. Where it's like, wow, what a difference!
Yeah.
Stark difference. Anyway, lot to get to today. It is Big E History Day.
Sweet, I
Gonna
forgot about that.
Yeah, we figured he wanted to do it today because Massey's coming in tomorrow. And it's
Right.
gonna be we'll have a lot going on. So it was so funny. I was upstairs. I'm like, so E, are you ready for History Day? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you feel confident about it? He's like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, he's
I'm
getting
like,
cocky.
Well, he was kind of like shrugging it off. I'm like, okay, well, if you were going into your history class, do you think you've put together B work, C work, A work? What do you think? And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you were one of those kids that loved group projects,
Yeah.
right? I loved group
Oh, I
projects.
hated group projects because I got stuck with dudes like you and ended
Yeah.
up doing all the work.
But see, I got stuck with dudes like you, and
Yeah,
then it was
I know.
way
You loved
easier.
them.
You know what I mean?
Here's the thing, though, Isis. You're not a student in this. You are the professor. You are teaching us. You're coming at this from a totally different angle.
Well, first off, hold on. Before we even get there, you hated group projects because you got stuck with dudes like me. He was like, I fucking hated group projects, dude. And I'm like, why? No one wanted me in their group.
Oh,
Son of a
Isis.
bitch. It's
What grade? First eighth grade or second eighth grade?
I mean, I guess once I got into high school, I had a few friends usually that was better. But, like, the early grades for sure, first to fourth, until I went to the Montessori, those were
For any new
harsh.
listeners, review your elementary school experience really quick.
I went
in a nutshell.
Okay, well, I went from regular schooling till fourth grade, but then middle of fourth grade, I go to a Montessori to finish off fourth grade. Then to start fifth, my mom homeschools me for a few months, gives up on that.
Can't you see
Yeah.
what's going on behind the scenes at the home too?
Oh,
the
yeah.
parents are having conversation after conversation,
God.
like,
What
what
do
are we
we
going
do
to
with
do
them?
with him? Well, let's put him in the Montessori. And the Montessori, isn't that the place where it was like, today for class, we're going to go outside and sit on the grass?
Yeah.
Kinda.
And it was like
And-
multiple age group learning, right? It
Right,
was like
yes.
first through fourth
One
grade.
school,
Well,
one school.
Because
one
there was no
school house.
learning, you could
Sure.
do that. You could have different age.
Yeah.
It
Dude,
didn't
that's
matter
not
if you had
that's
a-
not
communal.
completely. I would say that's not completely fair. There was a few. Well, so my mom tried to homeschool me for about 4 months or so, and
Hi,
that
Mrs. Fady,
that,
by the way.
that
Yeah,
failed.
you're watching.
So I
Good
went
try.
back to the Montessori until for fifth and sixth. Seventh and eighth, I went to a Christian school, Lutheran school,
And
and I went back
wait,
to eighth grade.
Seventh,
Back
eighth,
to
and eighth? Or
Yeah, no, back to eighth grade at public school.
Yeah,
and then from there on,
that
whatever.
was the story where he walks into his second eighth grade, and the kid sitting there goes, "Dude, weren't you like in fifth grade when I was in fourth?" And he's like,
Fuck, I was hoping I
Son
could
of a-
skate under the radar on this.
Son of a bitch.
He's wearing his
I
chick
think only-
jeans.
dude, I only think one
CHIC.
kid, one
Sure.
kid,
Sisters.
chic chick, whatever it is.
one kid noticed it. Like, I think, honestly, I think that
all it takes.
enough people
All it
didn't know. It wasn't like social media back then, so you couldn't, like, it wouldn't, like, now, you couldn't skate now. But I will say, like, the Montessori, like, yeah, it was like, there was some teachers. It's not fair to say that all of them. There was like two teachers, one of them being the Kennedy's mom, actually. We talk about the Kennedys on this show. She legitimately hammered down, and, like, we would read books, and, like, I don't remember what we read now, but, like, we actually had reports that we had to do. There was a few others that were way more
Now,
loose.
is that your link to the Kennedys?
Yes, that is
Really?
that is how I
Nice.
find the Kennedys.
Interesting.
Nice. Yeah. I find that so sad though, and it's like no one wanted me
Dude,
in their
from-
group.
I will-
and it's like, so what did you do? It's like the last kid picked, where it's like, I'll take Lisa, and you can have Biggie and
I'll take the
Chubbs.
trash can
Here's
over
the
there.
thing.
You could have the rest.
The Montessori, although it set a lot of bad habits educational-wise, it did help me in a lot of ways finally, like, meet some people and get a little more socially active. But yeah, from my kindergarten to fourth grade were pretty rough, to be honest.
It's a grim history. Sorry to make you remember that.
It's all right.
Think about that. If he would have said like 7th to 12th grade was grim, kindergarten to 4th is just like crayons and treats.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
throwing
I
snowballs
remember
at
I was telling him like, but like in 3rd and 4th you would start doing writing.
That's it.
Yeah, but you would start doing writing projects too, and they would do peer reviews. I don't know if they still do these or not. I think they thought this was a thing at the time that they thought would be better for kids to like check their own papers.
Sure. Very damaging to a person like you, though.
Yeah.
Very damaging.
Dude, I knew that my grammar and English and all that shit was terrible. So what I would usually do is just like everyone was supposed to like, you'd say you'd write a paper like I did on today for a history. Like, oh, write a 1-page report on blank. Well, I would just kind of like try to like keep my head down and hope that no one looked to search my paper.
Too much time in the math room and not enough time learning the English language.
It's just devastating.
Well, here's the thing.
Man.
I knew that my papers were so bad, which is my own fault. I mean, I should have, whatever. But not only that, I knew that I couldn't check these people's papers.
Yeah,
What was I
yeah,
gonna?
useless.
That's out of the
gonna
question.
sit here and be,
Absolutely
like,
out of the question.
Grading their spelling. I don't know how to spell
Take
myself.
a red pen to some kid's paper. You spelled all these words right. What's the matter with you?
No, Group. Yeah, Group. I don't know. Group was not.
Yeah, and so he got stuck with the kid. The kid that shit his pants the year earlier, and is now he might as well be on an island. And then the girl whose hair stunk the whole year.
Yeah.
And then Big E in a group
It
together.
regularly let me doing one of these.
He
looking
didn't
around kind
he
of.
didn't luck out with like me, where I was socially okay enough that I could just get in the smart guys group and. And
I was like, just let's get through this, okay? Let's just stop talking, get something on paper, and just get it done, man.
I was actually more helpful in those than you would think in those group settings, and it because I hated that one kid that was just like did nothing, and you'd all come in the next day. It's like, motherfucker, my grade is relying on you, and you didn't do shit. So I was better than you would think, but. Anyway, sorry to hear about that.
It's fine.
It's
Although
always
I will
so
say,
tragic when we.
Well, with that said, it's great to see now the juxtaposition of his
Yeah.
professorship versus that history.
And he's getting better at it,
And
too.
we're
I think-
looking forward to his lesson later.
Absolutely. The State of the Union last night.
Yep.
Did you watch it? Enjoy it?
It seemed pretty standard to me,
Yeah, I know it's weird because we know going into it that it's going to be pre-written and telepromptered, so you don't get those weird, like outbursts from a Trump. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was too divisive.
There's so many leaks up front too now as to like who the guests are and what the
Yeah.
content will be that you kind of like, okay, check that one off. Yep, check that box, check that box, check that box. There's no surprise to it. It's just it's really not as exciting as it used to be years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, to me.
All the whole process seems so weird to me. And I know it goes back through history. I mean, it's just the way they do it. The gavel and the two guys standing behind him and all that kind of stuff.
I find myself just staring at like Paul Ryan the whole
Yes,
time, or
so do
Nancy
I.
Pelosi, whoever it is back there. I just stare at them and watch them and their dumb
Yes.
facial expressions.
Because they have to just
the
sit
reactions.
there for an hour, 2 hour, whatever it is.
that
and just-
nerd Paul Ryan.
And they know that. They know that. That's why it's weird when you get some like half eye roll and then they realize like, oh shit, I'm not allowed to do that.
Right.
Camera's on me. And one of those moments last night too, when Trump is saying something like, all of us are together in this. One country, one flag, one God. And then Paul Ryan looks to the heavens, points, and says, amen.
I didn't see that.
Dude, he mouths amen.
Awesome.
I'm like, oh, come on, you
He's the
ham.
worst.
You ham. Really? Anyone says God, and you have to look to the heavens, point, and mouth amen.
His constituency is watching, Mike.
It's so funny. Yeah, it was when he said, our motto is in God we trust. And as soon as he said that, it was,
It was on.
I was surprised he didn't get down on a knee,
Yeah.
really quick. Some of the things I noticed right away, and I don't know why. I mean, I've noticed this before, but Nancy Pelosi has huge jugs.
She does.
Did
dude.
you-
Yes, I
yeah,
have noticed that before. And they've remained large in her later years.
Yes, yes.
So they've got to be fake, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I mean, fake tubes back then would have been.
Yeah.
I mean, she wouldn't
You
get.
think she got them in the 80s or something, maybe, and just inflated those
Maybe.
suckers? Because I don't know that. Man, you don't see many older ladies that petite
Yeah.
with big boobs like that. You know, you see bigger older ladies, and they're just
You
big,
do
fat
see them
boobs.
though. They do exist
I
where you get
guess.
some woman that's kind of just has huge tits, you
I
know.
suppose.
And she's one of those. They seem way too mobile to have any sort of cosmetic help in the 80s. You know,
Okay.
those were just like boulders.
Sounds like you've analyzed much further than I have.
Thought I have. I imagine that if you pop that thing, you wouldn't be thrilled with what came out of there anymore. You know, she's older now. I imagine, I don't know how far down they would go, but I did take notice that they were huge.
I noticed a lot of her stupid facial expressions. I've noticed that for years.
Oh,
She does a
yeah.
lot with her mouth.
Yeah.
Like she's always sucking on like a lifesaver or something. She's always.
Well, isn't her face like half paralyzed now from all the Botox or whatever
Maybe,
she's
yeah.
done? Like she can't really talk. I think that's why she's doing that, is because of all the collagen and Botox shit.
It always
She's-
looks like she's sucking on like a
yeah,
mint.
yeah. Totally. She's always got a Werther's in her mouth.
For how old she is, though, I mean, she's a decent looking woman.
Not bad.
You know?
Not
and as
bad.
you say, the cans aren't bad either. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell right away. I took some notes, you know, stand for the national anthem. That moment I knew, I was like, okay, he's talking to the NFL players.
Yeah.
That's going to piss people off.
The White House immigration plan at this point is interesting, too, because it pisses off both sides.
Yeah.
The 1.8 million dreamers.
Yes.
And then his line about, you know, Americans are dreamers, too.
Dude, that was a great
That was.
fucking line. I really thought that was a good line. Yeah. Talking about the immigration stuff, that's always going to be, you know, the hot button issue. It's so funny. Today I went and I took a few minutes to just go to upstairs and binged a few YouTube videos from like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer,
Bill Clinton.
Hillary Clinton. And there's people have done matchups like Trump versus Hillary, and it's just like one sentence, and they're verbatim. They're even more like, if you go by today's standard of that's insulting. Nobody is an alien. Nobody's an alien. It's like the Clintons and all them. They're
Sure.
saying it. It's just laughable, the hypocrisy. It's like, how does Chuck Schumer get up there and cry about this stuff? Nobody's an illegal alien in this country. And it's like, here you are 4 years earlier saying the same shit.
Yeah. You got to
So-
keep them out, and there ought to be some merit-based system. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, holy shit.
Exactly. We only want the best. We want all the criminals out of here, the
Yeah.
gang members, drug lords, all that shit. Yeah, talking of tax cuts, he's taking a lot of credit for everything. Of course, the left doesn't want to give him any bit of credit for that. I don't know. I mean, I suppose they can't, you know, in all their fights with him. But the Black Caucus, did you see them sitting on their hands?
And wearing the African garb thing.
Yeah, African garb.
Whatever you call that. I
don't know
forget.
what it
There's
is.
a name for it.
Shawl?
No, there's
like
a certain
Yeah.
tribal name or something.
Yeah, they're all wearing that to show their support for Africa and African countries. Go Blacks! That Trump has deemed shitholes.
Yeah.
And they're really pushing back on that. They are still so offended that, God forbid, someone would think that there's places in the world that are shitholes.
There they are. What are those called, E?
You know what? I might
Look like soccer scarves, you know?
Yeah, they do.
It's like
Okay.
something Man U would be wearing. Man U fans.
They were supporting African patterns.
I think it starts with a K.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Cloth tie. I'm trying to kente cloth.
There you go.
Kente
A
cloth.
Kunta Kente cloth.
Yes, from Ghana. One lady's like, I believe my kente cloth is from Ghana.
I'm not sure though. I was
Yeah.
handed this at the door, like a Goyim is handed a yarmulke at the door of a.
Yeah.
The one guy
synagogue.
just has it as a tie. He doesn't have it.
I don't see.
Yeah, it's
oh,
kinda-
that's
it's kinda
kick
badass.
ass with the little pocket square. Sure,
They only had one tie, and so they fought over it, and he got it. And,
that's
you know.
almost badass, dude.
Yeah,
Huh?
hell yeah. And so they're just sitting.
Looks
but it's
very Louis
Dude.
Farrakhan-esque.
bow tie
And
got
the bow
one
tie,
too.
That's what, yeah.
Oh, that's what you were
I'm
saying.
looking
Oh,
at.
okay.
Oh, I didn't notice the straight tie.
Tie
I love the
there.
bow tie and the pocket square.
Hell yes.
I
That's
say
funny. I
do
was
it
like,
every day, man.
I was like, where is he seeing a pocket square? I don't see it. I went down there. But yeah, to see, Trump is like, we've hit record lows. Unemployment for African Americans has never been this low in recorded history. And that's a fact. That is a fact. And they immediately, Black Caucus. And these guys are just sitting there,
Yeah.
just like,
How about gain a little credibility by going, yep, you know what? It's
Yeah.
a start. You
Yeah.
know, give him a clap.
and what they're pissed off about too is a lot of people immediately go, Nothing to do with Trump. No, not at
Yeah.
all. This is
You're hearing more and more of that.
Yeah.
It's all cyclical, which to an extent there is that everything's cyclical in terms of the economy, but not giving his policy any credit and just going, well, of course it was on its way back up.
Right.
It just didn't happen under Obama,
Which is so funny when you see the stock market and the Dow hitting these massive numbers we haven't seen
Historically
ever.
massive.
Historic. They're huge. And we've talked about, dude, just open your 401k. Tell me how it looks. And people are going, yeah, he wants to take credit for that, and that's outrageous. It's outrageous. It's Obama. Obama's policies are coming, and it's like, can you imagine if when Trump took office, like they predicted, the thing absolutely nosedived, and we're at 12,000 in
Would
the
they
Dow?
be blaming Obama?
Of course they would. They would go, yeah, this is
It's not Trump's fault.
No, we gotta let Trump slide on this one because clearly this was the latest.
That's why takes like this are just like that are just so infuriating to the American people, and it's such a joke. It's so symbolic to watch last night and see the one side stand up, the one side sit, the other side refuse to get up and clap when it's a bona fide issue to clap for. It's just right there, part and parcel of everything that we hate about the government.
If you
on
can't,
display,
when he says we have a responsibility to the people, and we need to be less divisive and bring this together. We are one country, one flag. If you can't stand up for trying to unify people, like even like a half-hearted, like, yeah, dude, it starts with you, but yes, we agree with that. But no, we're gonna sit on our hands and moan and boo and hiss. The hissing, really? When he's like, we need to end chain migration.
have you ever hissed?
No, I want to now.
I know.
I
Maybe
kind of
we
want to
should-
hiss at people.
I told Mike too. Did you notice a few of the times where Trump like actually like kind of come on? He like put his hands
Yeah,
out like kind
yeah.
of like come on guys, come on. Never seen. Can you imagine Bill Clinton or Obama? Even Obama like come on Republicans, come on, give me that.
A few of them barked, lies, lies. It's like, you know what? You people are just so on the outside of this. You do not understand what the American public wants overwhelmingly. And it's just really unfair to do that. But, I love when they have people in the crowd. And it's like, yeah, this kid, went and put flags on all the graves. And
Yeah, I'm actually not a huge fan of that. That's something that's become very, very mainstay over the last how many years. But it's
you didn't like seeing Larry's parents there?
It sort of makes me, Larry Warmbier.
Yeah.
It's a dramatic, usually a bit overly dramatic.
Yeah.
But it sends home the point. Sort of an object lesson for visual learners.
Sure, and it's they'll usually have some I think was it last time we did this they had some black female military member who like lost an arm and a leg and is standing there and waving. It's like
It just feels exploitative,
I would agree with that.
Like you've got the MS-13 gang that is obviously hurt a lot of people. Well, it just so happens you have two African-American couples whose daughters they killed, and I don't know, it just seems like, oh, well, if we could get a black couple to come and show up for Trump, it just feels like that.
And they were on Trump's team, man. They were the one dad who was crying as soon as he started talking about him. Your heart breaks for him. You know what I mean? It's like, that is
I guess that's what I
awful.
don't like. I don't like my heartstrings being pulled.
Well, it is, because you can see that when you
Like, man, this cop who adopted the baby girl, damn it!
They got her for 13 years, and then these animals fucking murdered her in a park somewhere, and it's like, oh, I remember being 13. That stinks. But this guy's just like crying, and then he's looking up, and he's just doing that whole thing, and he's looking at Trump. He's just like, thank you, man. Thank you for acknowledging us. The one guy I loved, though.
With the crutches?
Oh, dude. He was my favorite. That was a sneak attack. Nobody knew that dude was going to be
North
there.
Korean defector? Nobody
Yes.
really.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
anticipate that.
Oh yeah, you think this is heartbreaking? Boom!
Yeah.
Spotlight on
Look at this
Soon-Hoon
guy.
Lee or whatever. And yeah, they show this guy. It's Ji Sung-hoo.
You talk about a sad sack story.
Dude, it's like
This poor guy. It couldn't be worse.
here we are bitching about, whatever.
Damn it, I got a scratch on the door of my car.
Goddamn soccer fees are killing me.
Yeah.
This is outrageous. We need to do something about this. This guy, he's standing there. He attempted to fill his belly because he's starving. He's
Starving in North Korea.
in North Korea, and nobody will give them food. And so he steals some coal, off a train.
And he wants to trade this coal for a morsel of food.
Yes, he's hoping he can get one like half green piece of Wonder Bread.
Shit.
You know, and he's going to take this coal. He's going to trade it for that. He's so tired and whatever that while he's stealing the coal, he passes out on the train tracks
With his legs on the track, man.
Yeah, and he's awoken as it cuts his legs off as it drives over him. That's how he wakes. He endures multiple amputations without any sort of anesthesia or anything to dull the pain. So we're just going into full-on surgery now with nothing. He's beat for years by the regime. His brother and sister give what little food they had to help him recover and ate dirt for themselves.
Stunting their own growth.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm sorry.
Have you ever tried to eat? No, dude. Have you ever tried to eat dirt? You know when you go to the beach.
I accidentally have when I like got whipped off a swing or something and face planted it, and it doesn't taste good, Mike.
It's
blood and dirt in particular.
Ugh.
But
see, blood and dirt would be better than just dirt.
Maybe.
I'm serious. Like, dude, you go to the beach and you get like 1 grain of sand in a tooth, and you're just for 6 days, and it's like. Well, I guess we'll just eat dirt tonight. Imagine you put your little paper plates out, you got your knife and fork, and you're cutting through your dirt.
Dude.
It's just, I know.
No worms available?
No, I don't think so.
His dad was then tortured to death.
Sure, why not? And then Sung Hu eventually travels thousands of miles on crutches.
On crutches!
The original pair of crutches, these wooden pieces of shit that he was given, like, here you go, sir. And he travels thousands of miles on these crutches. And Trump's like, give it up. There he is. I believe. I'm told he still has the original pair of crutches. And the guy's standing there holding these fucking ancient pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude.
Hoisting it like it's a freaking, Stanley Cup or something.
I am here. Look at that dude.
Yeah.
He looks so much better now. And he lives in South Korea, I believe, and helps try to educate people in the North and smuggle people out.
Yep.
Which is very cool. Very cool.
I was reading an article recently saying that they think that there was a hint. Maybe they thought that Kim Jong-un is losing a little control because they've had like a record number of ghost ships
Is that right?
land on Japanese soil, like ships that they'll have dead bodies in them, but like they're
they don't make it, but they're trying.
right. They're trying, and they said that there's more than they've ever had, I guess, in the last few years of these ships of people. So even though they're not making it, it's just saying that like maybe he's losing a little bit of the grip on that.
Well, you got to figure when there was no internet or it wasn't prevalent around the world, it would be very easy to keep your people in the dark.
Yeah.
If you just don't have TV, the lights go out as soon as it gets dark. You don't allow them to have anything to connect. But now they can just fucking take a wrist rocket and launch a USB stick over the thing. Launch their
drone it over there, whatever.
They were dropping at one point, parachuting in like portable little DVD players with the DVD already in it. And so it's a ballsy, risky thing for a guy to even try to smuggle that into his house and watch it. I mean, if your neighbor gets wind of it, it's his duty to turn you in. And so it's a mess, but it's becoming much. You've got to imagine rumors are flying like, dude.
Sure.
Sounds like the outside world is kind of dope, man.
You want to see the outside world. Holy shit,
they have
man.
food. Like, they eat 3 times a day, some of them. There's fat people.
There's blonde hair.
What? There's fat people in the world outside of our dear leader? And so it'll be interesting to see the, we didn't really talk about it, but the Olympics are coming up here in, I don't know, a week or two.
Yeah, they're fastly approaching.
Yeah. And
That's another thing, dude. You mentioned the Super Bowl hype not being that huge this year, seemingly. I don't feel like the Olympic hype has been as big.
And we're two people that have to pay a ton of attention to all these websites.
Not
and stuff.
saying it isn't there, but it just doesn't feel like as much.
No, it doesn't. And the Super Bowl one really surprised me. That used to be like for 2 weeks. They were
nauseating.
But yeah, they've combined, and they made some deal with the North and South where they're sending some athletes over to play like
the
women's
hockey team. Yeah, the hockey team is blended. And I guess
Yeah.
the South Koreans are like, fuck this, man.
Yeah, I bet. Can you imagine?
Got these little skinny fools, can barely skate.
Yeah. And so they've got like 200 people as part of like a cheerleading team or something. And I guess basically in North Korea they just cheer about how great, Fatso is. And that's really all they do. And they're like, no, you can't have any of that propaganda shit at the Olympics. And so they've got some singer in a pop band, some chick singer that's Un's favorite.
Yeah.
And so she's over there. She hasn't said anything. She's a cute girl, and gets out of the car and there's pictures galore and all that stuff. But it's like they're going to set them up in like an Olympic village somewhere. They're going to be around other athletes from around the world. They're going to have access to food and like, and people are like, well, the way this usually works is Un just, like, very good, Susie. You have fun at the Olympics. When you get back, stop by the Paris, and I'll give you your parents and sister and brother back. And so it's like,
okay.
don't think for a second that you're just going to stay there
Oh, shit,
or
man.
make some big statement about what a piece of shit you live in
Ruthless.
because your whole family's here with me. Oh, just crazy. Crazy.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, our friends at Zott Ford need your help. The hottest sales staff in Oakland County is sick of brooming snow off 300-plus cars and moving them all to plow. They need to drastically reduce their inventory, so jump, and this is one of Guevara's great lines. Listen to this.
All right.
Jump your fat ass, with a PH, into your
Okay.
broken -down hoopty and head to Holly and get your fresh new whip now.
Dude, that's badass.
Right?
That's great. Yes.
Jump your fat ass into your broken down hoopty and head to Holly to get your fresh new whip now.
Yeah, trade it in.
Zott will meet or beat any deal, period. Surf their snowy deals and massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Couple things really quick in case people are wondering. If you're on social media looking at, how did the president do, State of the Union, that kind of thing, it's going to look like it was a bloodbath and he's an idiot. Within minutes of his first State of the Union speech, CBS News revealed their YouGov poll and their approval ratings. 97% of Republicans liked what they were watching. 72% of independents liked it. Staggeringly, 43% of Democrats liked it. Overall, they said 75% of Americans approved of that speech last night.
That is definitely not the message you will be seeing on most media today. Interesting.
8 out of 10 Americans in the poll felt the president was trying to unite the country with his speech, and 2/3 said it made them feel proud. Yeah. Less than a quarter that watched said it made them feel scared or angry. But then we've got a few things that were sent out. This was Sarah Silverman. I was told darkness could not exist in the light, but here it is for everyone to not see. Okay. Jim Carrey.
Calm down, poops.
Settle down, poops. Here it is for everyone to not see. Mask.
Yeah, he should send out a picture of his crying soon-to-be mother-in-law. She's crying over the death of the woman that
committed suicide because of Jim.
Yeah, allegedly.
Sure. Andy Lassner, producer of the Ellen Show. Good luck Saturday night.
Producer of the Ellen Show.
Saturday Night Live on trying to make this any more fucking ridiculous than it already is. Jeffrey Wright can't even watch this vile, deceitful fraud and his bizarre cult of self-interest and
Dude,
sycophants.
this is where it's such bullshit. Even if he doesn't do anything that he's saying, I don't understand when you say trying to make this more funny than it already is. What statements of trying to support the army, get the country? I mean, he states several times in there about getting people together and under one and all communities, race, religion, creed.
Righty.
It was a very sober speech.
What
The
are
thing
you-
is being read off a teleprompter.
Yeah.
It's professionally written. How do you react like that? Unless he's off the cuff riffing, and when he
Right.
does that, he
Yeah.
says some goofy shit. Unless he's doing that, how can you possibly look at the text of that speech and react like that? It's impossible.
You can't. And
Not reasonably so.
What you would expect to see and what you would expect to normally see someone like Saturday Night Live parody or the news team to cover if they're covering Twitter is, there's a little old saying in Tennessee, I believe it's in Texas too, fool me once, won't get fooled again. Like when he would make those mistakes or who was the famous
Trump eating
one when
the
we were
burger.
younger, the vice president who spelled,
Ford.
No, spelled potato wrong.
right.
What was his name? Those were things that they would highlight, and then that guy is just a moron for eternity.
Right.
As far as SNL goes, Bush doesn't know which door to open to go in and out of. But just trying to be unifying speech, and we get Patton Oswalt. I'm going to fact check this speech. Whatever he just said was bullshit.
Wait, what do you mean? I thought you were going to fact check that.
You'll get plenty of gaffes with Trump, and I
Yeah.
don't think last night was the time to point at that and go, gaff,
Billy
gaff-ridden speech.
Billy Eichner. The president is a lying, incompetent, racist, misogynistic sack of shit. And then lastly, George Takei. Oh, my.
Oh, this.
Oh, my. What did George Takei say? Didn't he,
What
wasn't
about
he in
those
trouble
sexual?
recently?
Yeah, what about those sexual?
Yeah, how did he
I was,
escape that? He apparently raped some dude, didn't he?
I jacked him off when he passed out.
Ah, that's
I
right.
did not rape.
Well, didn't he say? Sometimes
No
I was a little more.
penetration.
Sometimes I had to be a little more aggressive.
Oh my!
That's right. Isn't that what he said, Mike? Like he had. Sometimes you
Some-
got to be
yeah.
a little more aggressive.
It's like,
sometimes.
well, you wouldn't do that against someone's will. Well, sometimes you need to be a bit more aggressive. Yes, yes. So George
That's
Takei said,
creative.
"I'm not watching some frothing orange gorilla read off a teleprompter. Oh my!" So,
Fair enough. Okay. You know, you don't agree with him, you don't like him, don't watch it. That's
but why you got to call him an orange gorilla?
I would go more
just,
Oompa Loompa than
Yeah,
anything. But
fair enough. And then Joe Kennedy came out. Did you see Joe Kennedy?
Joe Kennedy. Perfect. Yeah, give us another Kennedy.
Joe Kennedy
Please.
the third.
Please
Oh,
give
the
us
third.
another fucking Kennedy.
Isn't
That's
that
what the country
hilarious?
needs.
Isn't it hilarious? Where it's like, oh, waiting in the wings, young superstar.
Oh, yeah.
Young superstar.
He's like 37 years old. He's been in Congress like 8 years or some
Yeah.
shit. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You talk about an elitist class.
Yeah.
That's what this country is
Talk about
clamoring.
swamp.
That's what we want.
Yeah. This isn't like an athlete who gets genes passed down to him and it's like,
No.
ah, your dad was an amazing athlete and so are you. It's like, no, your dad was a fucking congressman and then your grandfather and your uncle and your nephew.
Say
and
the
your-
same thing about the Bushes.
Yes,
Say the
of
same thing
course.
about the Adamses.
and the Clintons and Ziz. I don't want to see Hillary's shitty kid run, Chelsea Clinton, who's making a lot of political statements the last couple years. I don't want to see her
Michelle
dumbass.
Obama?
Oh, Lord help me. Lord help me if they try to give us Michelle Obama.
Oh, dude, it's
Bag up, bag up.
I was convinced it was coming.
Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus.
I just don't know how with a straight face you can be like, the young superstar of the party, Joe Kennedy III, everybody. Like
and then he comes out drooling.
the Rockefellers or something. Yeah.
He drooled.
Dude, he became an instant superstar online. They think he had was it Carmex or something? He
Yeah, lip
just
gloss.
gobbed it all over his face, and that's all anyone could see was that on his face. And so yeah, his so much to the light of the internet, they were going off on him.
And this is the Democratic response, right? I don't know that we mentioned that. but
Yeah, every
the
time
party
they do
that's
this.
out of office gives a response, and as soon as you go back to the studio after the president wraps up, then they go via satellite to some other location
Yeah.
where the response happens. And dude, frankly, in past years, there's been some really epic fails.
Oh, huge.
Bobby Jindal. I mean, he put himself out of really presidential
Yeah.
thoughts after his shit response.
Didn't Paul Ryan have a shit response?
Paul
one
Ryan
year?
had a shitty one. Rubio with the dry mouth.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
yes.
It's like, dude, take a drink of water. And he
Yeah.
kept drinking, and he's like, it's brutal.
They're so funny too because they're so staged, and it's like, I'm just here in this mechanic's garage.
Yeah.
Just happen to have a car with its hood open
With a
behind
bunch of
me.
good Americans.
They've all got their UAW patches on, and or they'll be in some, or the Republicans will come to you and they'll have their sleeves rolled up, ties off, and
Yep.
the top button's undone because it's time to get serious, folks. And I'm coming to you from a diner in Kentucky. You got some old mom and pop diner, and you got all these
Sure.
old people behind them eating
Just talking to the folks.
flapjacks.
Just talking to the folks.
Just having some flapjacks with the locals here.
Yeah.
This is real America behind me, and I'm here to represent real America.
Dude, look at this inbred motherfucking Kennedy.
If you said that was from 1968, that picture, and said it was the other Kennedy,
Yeah.
like was it Robert or his brother? Which one was
Robert,
it?
Teddy,
Yeah.
Jack.
Teddy's the one that killed the girl, right?
Yes.
Teddy
I'm
murdered
Charlie
the girl.
Quiddick.
I'm shocked that they're gonna have a movie about that. When I went to see that movie with my mom recently, there was a preview for
Really?
from yeah. I think it's just
How
called
is-
Chappaquiddick. I don't
How's
remember.
Hollywood allowing that?
I was
He's
shocked.
Kennedy.
Yeah, but how's
They're,
Hollywood
they're
allowing
saying
that?
it's billed as it says they're like finally the true untold story or something. So it was the true
She
untold
brought
story
it on
that he
herself.
murdered?
Yeah, right. It's
She asked for this.
Teddy's gonna come out shining.
You know, I have.
Didn't he like hit her with a golf club or
No, he
something?
ran off a
I know,
bridge.
I know he did,
Oh.
but I thought there was something else.
Oh,
in
I don't
there,
know
too.
about a
like,
golf club.
Maybe I'm wrong. Scratch that.
You know,
Scratch
I've
that.
bet-
Scratch
I've-
the golf club thing. I don't want to defame him.
I've been to that Chappaquiddick, like the bridge.
Really?
Yeah.
Go for a dip.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, here's what's funny about this. My dad, we were talking about it because we'd said that there was a movie about it, and I'd forgotten about this though. My dad had reminded me that in that area, they're still all pretty, pro Kennedy. They don't like to
Sure.
talk about the negative stuff.
Bunch of waspy bastards.
So you have to take this ferry across like a thing, and then it's like, well, where's this bridge? And like, it's kind of down that way.
Yeah, it's
and
not like there's a big plaque or
no,
something.
no.
Welcome
And
to
so
Chappaquiddick.
apparently we walked like half an hour one way, half an hour the other way. No car, and it's like I'm probably 12. Meeting my brother's probably like 10, and my
You're
sister's
not
like
anywhere near
6 or
pro period
7.
runner at this point.
And we walked like a half an hour in the July sun to go look
Awesome.
at where this Chappaquiddick Bridge was.
And you did find it, though.
I guess we got to it. He said it's just been run down completely at this point. It was pretty much just like there wasn't really water anymore. It was kind of like a drainage swamp or
Oh, they
something.
tried to cover
was,
it up? They drained the swamp. Huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Wow.
But he
What was
definitely.
her name? Why can't I think of her name?
I can't think
Holly
of it either.
or
I thought it was Kathy something. But
Maddox or
if only I had a
shit.
big machine in front of me.
yeah.
Well,
But yeah, think about that, dude. He drives a car into the lake, and she drowns and dies, and he just goes home.
He's drunk.
He's
so,
hammered, yeah. And
And
then
he
it's
leaves
just
the
like
scene because he's afraid he's going to get in trouble because he's drunk.
right.
I don't know why
I mean,
he'd
fuck
even be
her dead
worried.
body.
Yeah.
Who cares about her?
Why would he even be worried? He's a Kennedy. He would have been away.
Yeah,
got
maybe
away
he
with it
wasn't worried.
anyway.
I can't jump into
I
his
know.
head.
I just.
I don't know what he was thinking.
He just goes home and he's like, "Mother, father,
Take care of this.
please. This bitch did not get out of the car before she drowned."
Mary Jo Kopechny.
Kopechny, yeah, yep. There you
Trapped inside the vehicle. According to Kennedy's own testimony, he accidentally drove his car off the one-lane bridge and into a tidal channel.
Yeah.
He swam free, vainly tried to rescue Kopechny,
go. Yeah.
left the scene, and did not report the accident to police for 10 hours.
Oh, that's nice. Well,
Meanwhile, she died inside the car that was submerged.
I wonder how many of those hours she was still savable.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway, the point is, it's great to see an upstart Kennedy coming onto the scene and going to really make a splash.
That's what we need,
soon.
man.
So yeah, he proceeds to go on, and in order for one to win, one must lose. That's what Trump is saying, basically. In order for Jay to win, E has to lose. Is basically the message.
A zero-sum game.
As if a mechanic in Pittsburgh and a teacher in Tulsa are somehow bitter rivals, rather than mutual casualties of a system forcefully rigged for those at the top. You mean like your family? What are you talking about, asshole? Has the system ever been more forcefully rigged than for the Kennedy family? Holy shit. As if the parent who lies awake terrified that their transgender son will be beaten and bullied at school is any more or less legitimate than the parent whose heart is shattered by a daughter in the grips of an opioid addiction. Blah, blah, blah. This administration isn't just targeting the laws that protect us. They are targeting the very idea that we are all worthy protections. For them, dignity isn't something you're born with. It's something you measure by your net worth, your celebrity, your headlines, your crowd size, not to mention the gender of your spouse, the country. Dude, you just
What a
named-
messenger for this. This is incredible.
And can you think of any party that's doing this more than his own?
I know.
Measured by your net worth, there's not a celebrity on the planet that's been relevant in 20 years that likes Trump. Your net worth, all of those rich assholes are on your team. Your headlines, what? Anyway, I love the way he ended his speech. He thought this was going to be one of those where people are just like,
Drop the mic.
yeah. You got that either?
Yeah.
So here's.
So are we sure, first off, he's not drooling? It was like Carmex or something?
I think there was maybe some drool, but obviously there was
He's
some.
just taking
some-
care of the herpes in the corner of his mouth?
Maybe.
Okay.
But there was a touch of drool, definitely some sort of waxy Carmex
Lip
issue.
balm.
So now he's going to focus on the Dreamers because his party cares about the Dreamers.
So then they should love that Trump tripled the number that they were looking to help to 1.8
Yes.
million. He should
No,
love that, right?
Wait, I don't. Wait,
How do I feel about that?
I don't know. He's a racist.
Nancy, how do I feel about that?
Well, it's trying to make America white again, is what it is. Just say it's trying to make America white again. By bringing in 2.8 million Browns? Whatever. Just trying to make America white again. So go ahead, E. His heartfelt speech to the doctor.
And to all the dreamers out there watching tonight, let me be absolutely clear. Ustedes son parte de nuestra historia.
Yes!
Vamos a luchar.
Yes!
Vamos a
He's
luchar
talking in their
por
language.
ustedes. Y no nos vamos a alejar. You are part of our story. We will fight for you, and we will not walk away.
Wait a minute. I thought dreamers were brought here as babies,
Yeah,
and this
why
is
would
all
even-
they know.
I know. They would totally no English, right?
America. So why
Speaking Spanish.
speaking some native tongue or something?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if that's true, then by all means, please, let's get them home to where they'll feel more comfortable and their native language is spoken.
Oh, barf.
You imagine when
The
he
whole
gets to
system, just barf.
when he gets to the end of his speech and it's like, I think you should go for it. I think you should go for it, Mr. Kennedy. Just do it. It's going to be huge.
He's probably like on his teleprompter. He's got like a red line. Like this is the go line.
This is
you know
it.
either you ignore this and you just tie it up.
Yeah.
With what's underneath, or you fucking go.
Yeah, honey. Here's my smartphone. When I get to this part of the speech, jump on Twitter as soon as I hit #1 on trending. Make sure you screenshot it for me, okay? I want to make sure to capture that
Got my
moment.
tweet all set up. Just
Yeah.
push tweet. That's all you need to do.
It's just him with an eagle behind him, an American flag, looking up at the sky.
Oh, fuck you Kennedy!
You asshole!
And by the way, asshole, your family is the first one to have stolen an election. Okay.
There you go.
That's a great point.
I heard. What is it? Joe Kennedy? Is that who I keep?
Joe was the dad. Yeah.
Well, which one's okay? So Joe Kennedy III. Yes, I saw him the other day, and he's really big on the opioid crisis. And this administration is not taking this seriously. It is an outrage, and Obama's administration, if I'm going to be honest, didn't take it seriously either. And this administration had a chance to do something, and they have chosen to do nothing. They've done less than Obama, and it's an outrage, and it's a disservice to this country. We're losing thousands of lives. Blah 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 blah. And then he goes, you know, when we had the AIDS crisis in the 80s, we did what we had to do. We put the funding necessary in to make sure that we eradicated AIDS to the best of our ability. And when cancer is running amok, we put proper funding in it to do what we can, and we're not doing that with opioid abuse. And I'm thinking, dude,
And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
I didn't give him those AIDS. Here's the difference, Joe. Let me tell you the real difference in this and why you can rhetoric all you want. Nobody wanted AIDS or cancer. There's loads of people who want to be fucked up.
Yeah, it was a huge party for
You know
like
what I mean?
20 years. They're
No-
walking amongst us. It was a huge fucking party. Believe us.
Yeah. Nobody wants scabs all over their face and to die in 2 years.
Moreover, just from a practical matter, asshole, you know that Congress can't handle more than one thing at a time. So he'll get to
right.
it, okay? You've
right.
proven you can't handle more than one thing at a time.
And you didn't do your part already. The government overreach or looking out for the public failed miserably when it comes to the story of the opioid epidemic, which I have said on record here is not fixable. It's a problem that is not fixable. Your politicians can go on mic all day long and say they're going to tackle it, just like Nancy Reagan did in the 80s. The war on drugs, just say no. Just say no. How did that work out, Nance? This is going to be worse. You have an entire country addicted to this shit, and they don't know how to get off it. It would cost more money than this country has to properly get people the treatment they need. It's not going to happen. And the problem, too, is you fuckers sat back and did nothing while it took place. The stories today, there's a congressional committee investigating the epidemic. They discovered that 2 out-of-state drug companies shipped more than 20 million oxy and hydrocodone pills to a West Virginia town over the last decade. This town has like 2,900 residents.
That's really astounding.
They shipped enough oxys to this fucking town so that roughly every resident could have 7,172 oxy pills.
I wonder what was going on there.
Well, do you think someone was making money on out the back door?
Why were there so many people in this small West Virginia town that had all these knee problems? It's astounding.
From 2008 to 2015, Miami Lucan, which is a drug-based company, shipped 6.4 million hydrocodone and oxycodone pills to Tug Valley in Kermit, a town in Mingo County with 400 people.
It's kind of an awesome name.
Yeah.
Tug Valley.
It's a pharmacy in Kermit. Yeah. Tug Valley. 400 residents. They shipped 6.4 million pills there. And nobody said anything? Nobody does anything? Both companies have till February 9th to respond to this new investigation. We've got some questions. How did this happen? We need to detail what measures, if any, you've decided to take to fix this.
Sound like a wholesale center there in West Virginia.
Yeah. both Miami Lucan, and this is where it really comes down and hurts these guys. Miami Lucan and H.D. Smith, which are the big drug companies that they're talking about in this particular instance, they've settled lawsuits with West Virginia, and because of the allegations, they flooded to epic proportions the state with these pills. So Smith agreed to pay the state $3.5 million, and Miami Lucan paid $2.5 million, and that's
take care of it.
I mean, that's really hitting them where it hurts. I mean, they probably make $3.5 million in an hour, a day, maybe. Those massive drug companies.
What's the street value of that shit, you think?
10 million oxy pills?
Yeah.
Depends which state you're in. Let's go conservative.
Let's say Michigan.
Let's. Depends who you're buying them from.
Okay.
Anywhere from $20 to $50 a pill. So let's say
Fuck.
30. Let's say 30. If you're in Alaska, 80 milligram OxyContin tablet will cost you $80. One. So that's why I say there's a stark difference. When this train is going from, there was a train going up 75 from Florida, Ohio, Kentucky, to Michigan. There was a huge drug trafficking ring. So they were cheaper around these parts. You could get them cheaper in West Virginia and in Michigan. $20 a pill, $30 a pill. Let's just say 30 for the sake of argument. 10 million times 30.
That's astounding. That's really astounding.
It's really astounding. It's not going to be fixed, dude. I'm telling you. Not going to be fixed. Not going to happen.
Hey, speaking of money, how much money will you need, Mike, in your retirement? Are you sure you won't outlive your money?
Am I buying oxys on the regular? Because if so, I'm going to need a lot more money, it sounds like.
Yeah, having a plan today means that you can adjust as your life changes. Retirement doesn't have to be a mystery. Contact our buddy Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial today to learn the answer to one of the most important questions for your retirement. Call Mark today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
This is apparently what Chappaquiddick looks like. The bridge is kind of whatever, but there's water there.
I see a lot of water.
I know.
Man.
My dad, I'm telling you, I realize this.
You found the wrong bridge.
No, that's it.
Okay.
My dad just has quite a history when I look back on
of lying. Is he a liar?
Taking you to wrong
liar.
He doesn't lie.
historical
No,
places?
he doesn't lie. But we've noticed like he tends to just make proclamations about historical things at times, and then it's like we find out later. Like we were in South Carolina. I remember this very exactly, where he was like, there was pineapples on all the houses for some reason, or a lot of them. And my dad gave something about, well, you know, back in the day, pineapples were a sign of wealth, and people would.
Yeah.
And
He's like Cliff Claiborne from Cheers. He just, sure, Naomi, the pineapple.
Man.
Yes, there was times. So I just brought this up just the other day, and I said, "So, Dad, what did it look like?" And he's like, "Well, you know, it was kind of a dump." I mean, and the bridge.
But you don't remember being there at all?
Oh, I remembered enough that when the minute I saw like the start of the trailer, I'm like, oh shit, I've been there.
Okay,
but I don't remember.
But you just 10 minutes ago told us there was no water there anymore.
I said, well,
now
my
we're
dad.
looking at it's a fucking lake.
I said I asked what my dad. I asked my dad what did it look like. I don't remember. Like I remember parts and pieces of it. I remember that we went. I remember.
I mean, you could jet ski out in that thing.
I remember kind of walking. Like
any shred of credibility you had in my mind is gone now. But okay,
here's the thing. Here's what's going on. You know when your dad would say something to you, Jay, and you'd have follow-up questions?
Yeah.
His dad, it was just like
no natural curiosity.
No, I asked him. I said,
if
"What
shit
is
was
it?"
laid out there, it was just accepted. So he learned early on, just like pineapples, sign of wealth. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I will say I did look this up. I do remember this though. I remember getting off the ferry. We got off this ferry, and that means we walked all this way to go to find this bridge. But whatever.
That's funny. Did you see the big story, or last week I think it was, that Stormy Daniels, the exclusive interview with Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes.
See that
totally.
And it was, we're going to do it right after the State of the Union. And it was a disaster. So stupid.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
She didn't say a fucking word.
Is that right?
Yes.
She doesn't want to break her confidentiality?
Yes. She's obviously signed something. And Kimmel's like, show me on these puppets, trying to like get around the NDA. Like, you're not talking, but you're pointing.
Mm-hmm.
Show me this. He's got a puppet that looks like Trump with just whitey tighties on, and
so
then
he's
a
doing like
one.
the thing that they do with little kids when they've been molested. Oh God!
Show me where he touched.
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. But she's like,
I can't. I'm not going to act this out.
He did say something that I thought was pretty funny. He asked her, Okay, can you tell me, have you ever had sex with a man whose name rhymes with Lonald Lump? She's like, yeah, I've fallen for that. But he did pull out one thing. He's like, a couple hours before that started, a thing came out that was signed by her and her attorney saying, there's a lot of discussion out there, but I'm not denying this affair because I was paid hush money. I'm denying this affair because it never happened. Signed by her. And then Kimmel's got that.
Really?
And he's like, that doesn't look like your signature. I've got another thing with your signature here. And she's kind of coyly like, oh, I wonder how that happened kind of thing. And it was like, what's going on here? You know? And so after the show airs, her lawyer sends a statement to BuzzFeed and says that she absolutely signed this denial. He says, the signature is indeed hers as she signed the statement today in the presence of me and her manager, Gina Rodriguez. Stormy did indeed sign both denials. I thought Stormy did great on Kimmel tonight. She was having fun, being her normal playful stuff. But, yeah, that is her signature.
Okay.
We were all there. So I don't know what kind of goofy stuff. And honestly, who cares? Is there anyone that thinks Donald Trump wouldn't fuck a porn star? And then, like, really?
Seriously. And it's sort of, you hearken back to the discussion all last week about whether he thought about firing Bob Mueller, who's investigating him for the Russian collusion. It's like, in the end, like, who really cares? You know, he didn't do it. I mean, is there anybody on the planet who doesn't think Donald Trump thought about firing Bob Mueller?
He's thought about firing every person in his orbit every time they do something dumb. Might be easier just to get rid of him. Load. Loser.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just his MO. But, yeah, he didn't fire him. So
anyway.
What's the story? But it was a huge story.
Hey, back to the pineapples really quick. Appearing on all sorts of decor, from door knockers to quilts, the fruit symbolizes these intangible assets we appreciate in a home: warmth, welcome, friendship, and hospitality. So that's what your dad was kind of after. Not necessarily wealth.
I just remember.
Wealth is different than warmth and hospitality, though.
He was wrong. Like, your dad was wrong, but I like where he was going.
If it would have been gold coins all over the house, and he went, "Oh yeah, it represents." They bragging about how rich they are, but
all I remembered is him giving something. And
is
then
it possible you're misremembering this? That
no,
your dad
because,
actually said warmth.
No,
and
because
welcome,
it's become
not wealth.
No, because it's become such a joke. No, because it's become such a joke in our family amongst my sister and brother now that my dad will just make proclamations about historical things. Or
dial him up really quick. We can get to the bottom of this. We can settle this.
Dialing up.
I hear
Mrs. Fady, just have Mike call us. Just have him. You know the number. Yeah, unless you want to call me. We can.
Oh, you know what? They can't call E's phone because E forgot his phone today, and he feels virtually nude. You know, he's very anxious today.
That is true.
Shit. You know what you just did? Mrs. Fady just learned that E's phone is at the house. And she is.
She's
got a crack squad going through that right now. This is the day she's been waiting.
She's got code breakers sitting there right now. 1111 2222.
You can figure out his password.
It's face recognition.
What year
Mike.
was he born?
Yeah.
She can't get in without face recognition, Mike.
Yes, she can.
6969.
I know.
I would try 0069 or 6969.
Password.
Neither of those are in there. You're right, though. I do feel it's the weird. We talked about it just yesterday about like not having your phone for a little bit, and I feel almost like fidgety without it. Like I don't even know what I'm gonna.
You're addicted, dude. You're addicted.
Oh, I'm definitely addicted to my phone.
That's crazy, man.
Isn't it? I was on 696, and I still almost turned around. Like it would have been an hour difference of me turning around, coming back, and I was like, no, fuck it, let's.
It's so funny what you're addicted to. Also, like it's not like he's got a big trial to run in court today. And
he just wants to flip through Facebook.
It's just like,
I want to see how many likes I got.
I wonder if anyone's listening.
Seriously,
exactly.
Look at that picture.
That's all it is.
Oh, that's a cute poop.
Yeah,
that's all it is. My social networking sites that I'm just looking at.
Quickly becoming one of my favorite stories as it develops, Jay, is the Hawaii one.
Yeah.
Dude.
The false alarm, of course, that led to parents putting their kids into sewers. I love those images.
It's, it is something
so
to see when
so
some
grim.
dad's got his little sweet pie by two arms and he's literally sticking her in a fucking sewer because of this.
God.
Because this boob.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! I was laughing so hard when I read this. I'm just going. It's Big E. He's Big E.
The emergency system operator.
Yeah. He's Big E. They have not named the employee, so for our purposes, we'll just call him Big E.
Sure.
And so he was fired Friday. Get out of here, you. After the Federal Communications probe, a separate investigation and report was conducted by the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency and was released yesterday. The report painted the employee as hapless and often confused man who just sat there and did nothing to correct his mistake once he realized what I did.
I heard part of the problem was somebody didn't know the password into their Twitter.
Yeah, that was like the governor of
Yeah.
or whatever of Hawaii.
So at least password-wise or Twitter-wise, they couldn't get that going. But emergency system-wise, this guy was
Yeah.
at the point of operation and couldn't figure it out or deal with it.
He's had a history of confusing.
Big E, we'll call him.
Big E has had a history of confusing drills with real life alerts.
It's a pretty simple job, man.
He confused real life and drill on a fire incident and a tsunami incident at least twice before. General Bruce Olivero said, he's the guy that led the investigation into this report. On the day of the false alert, he was part of 2 shifts which were changing over when supervisors decided to carry out the drill. As part of it, a recording was played through a speakerphone which included the words, "This is not a drill." This is not meant to be played. It was played alongside the drill recording, which said "exercise" 6 times. The employee, all I heard was, "This is not a drill." I didn't even know it said exercise. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, Honolulu Pete. I didn't hear that part. And so he was just like, oh, I heard it says this ain't a drill, so I just pushed the red button.
No, I opened up I unlocked the glass box, opened that up, folded it up, broke that.
Break in case of
and then
emergency.
pushed the large red plunger entitled "Emergency Only."
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
that
is
one.
not a drill. I'm supposed to break the glass and then hit the red button. And I did that. I did my job. And they sat down. He realized his mistake when his colleagues began receiving alerts on their cell phones. And
went,
but
dude.
And he just went, oh man, I'm gonna sit here and freeze. I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna not do anything. And so he froze, and another employee had to take over his responsibilities.
Press the blue button. Like what? How difficult is this, man? Really?
It said this is not a drill, and so fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude. I break the box. I push the red button.
I picture like green, yellow and red. It's like, how hard is this?
They're all coming in like, dude, it was a fucking exercise. Get away from my button. No.
That is my button.
It said it's not a drill. This is my button. Get out of there. They said he just absolutely froze. And so colleagues said they did not think the man was capable of doing his job, and they'd reported him before. He's been a source of concern for the staff for over 10 years. He's unable to comprehend the situation. Yeah, fuck you too, Pete. I comprehended it. And has confused real-life events and drills on multiple occasions. They felt he was not capable of doing his jobs. Despite their concerns, he was allowed to keep his job and access to the crucial missile alert system. In a written statement, he said, look, I was confused by the wording of the recording which played through the emergency management agency as part of drill. All I heard is this is not a drill, and if I hear this is not a drill, I push down on the red button. That's what I did. Fuck all of you guys, especially you, Pete. If this is the case, I'm not saying you fire
Do you
him.
suppose there's a John sitting next to Pete going, for the record, he pointed at Pete?
Probably.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not saying you got to fire. Everybody's got a place in this world, right? And that guy deserves a job, too. I've been working here for 10 years.
The world needs ditch diggers, Mike.
I've heard that. That's a great saying. The thing is, we don't put retards in charge of the missile alert system for the state. He shouldn't have immediate access to the people are stuffing their kids down manholes.
Yeah, I know.
Have him sweep the floors. Yep, my job is to come in here as soon as the shift is over and I sweep all the floors real good, make them all shiny.
I guess I'd just be interested to learn more about the overall job duties, because to hear that they had some concern for 10 years, what else is this dude doing? That's I understand there were the 2 issues that you just read about, but I'm just picturing a guy sitting there in front of a computer, you know,
he's
just
waiting.
with his hand over a buzzer, like Jeopardy.
Yep. And he and he doesn't. He's just one of those guys that he's content to sit there all by himself. I don't even need a lunch break.
Yeah.
I'll sit here for 10 straight hours. And if that ticker comes across and says, This is not a drill, and I know what to do. I pushed the red button.
Boom.
I did my job. And so, no, they have him stationed there, and it's like, hey, Big E, we're doing a tsunami drill in about a minute. What? Tsunami? Hold on. Let me break the box and push the button.
Is it possible that this job is so simple that you sit there and you stew over it and you overthink the fuck out of it because you're just staring at this thing, thinking about it for 8 hours per day, 5 days per week?
That's possible, but why do we tempt this man? What, like, the biggies of the world, not talking about you, I'm talking about Hawaii Biggie. The biggies of the world have shown throughout the history of mankind that when push comes to shove, when the moment is the biggest, when the light is the brightest, when the whole team is counting on you the most,
they trip on the cord.
Yeah. And so we don't want to give the red button access to that guy, right?
I know. Even the Samoan version of Big E, we don't trust. Hey, our friends at dealsinthed.com make buying or leasing your next new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV truly fun and exciting. When you choose Zot, you get the best prices, the largest inventories, foosball, fresh popcorn, and some of the hottest salespeople that you've ever seen. Not to mention a world-class buying experience coupled with the finest ownership experience possible. Take advantage of all of this at any of the 4 Deals in the D dealerships.
Why don't we take a break and then,
Sure.
dude, we're about to learn something. Our Biggie, not the Hawaiian Biggie, our Biggie, Professor E, is going to teach us some history.
Hell yes.
Yeah, we'll do that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, TDC listeners, this is Kelly from the Hamlin Pubs inviting you to our 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for a great night with that special someone, it's always a great time at our Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and our 2 Shelby Township locations. Hamlin Pub also offers party packages. We are the perfect spot for that rehearsal dinner, graduation, birthdays, or other events. For more information about our locations, including live entertainment calendars, go to hamlinpubs.com.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsOnTheD.com with Mike and Jay. I couldn't stop thinking about a Hawaiian Big E in the break. Because I picture, like, he's probably got a gross wife, maybe a kid or two.
Oh, yeah, definitely a gross wife.
He just, he's just a man who knows what he's doing. It's like I go to work, I put in my time, and then I go home, and my wife gives me ham and pineapple every night, and then we watch TV and make loves, and then I do it again tomorrow.
He's sitting there in a flowered shirt and Pistons tearaway pants.
Yes.
I can picture it.
He's got Rainbow's tearaways pants that he's had forever.
The Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah, since before they changed the name, but he's hanging on to his old Rainbow Warriors tearaway pants with his Hawaiian shirt on that's always filthy. And I just imagine, like, they know what their father is like. They know he's not like their other friend's father.
Yeah.
And they know, and the wife knows too, like, and I just imagine when the alert comes through their TV in the morning.
Oh, no. They're just praying Dad didn't screw this up.
Please, Dad. Please say this is a real tsunami this time.
Did you get it right, Dad?
They're going, oh, no. Call him on his cell phone. They hear it ringing in the other room because he forgot his phone at home today. Realized as soon as I got on Kunaluna Boulevard that I didn't have my phone.
Huma Huma Nuka Nuku Apua'a Boulevard. Oh, Jesus.
As soon as I turned off a Pineapple Expressway on the Huna Huna Luna Luna Parkway, I realized I didn't have my phone. So, I didn't see anything. He gets home, and they're like, you did it again, didn't you? You know people were putting people down the sewers, right, Dad? Dad, the kids are going to make fun of us in school again. I'm sorry. That was on me. That one's on me.
Well, hopefully he lands on his feet. Everybody deserves a third, fourth, fifth chance.
Hey, we're getting excited. Mike Massey will be in studio tomorrow.
It's Mike Massey Day tomorrow. It's Mike Massey Day Eve.
Yes.
And we'd be remiss if we did not thank the fine folks at Rochester Limousine for providing transportation for Mike Massey and Bryce Bloom.
Look at how bigly he is now.
Well, it's
limoing around.
Transportation to which he's accustomed.
Well, of course. I mean, this is an international traveler now.
Yeah.
So thank you to Rochester Limo for coming through and taking care of Mr. Massey's very, very extremely high demands for
I know you'll only
top-notch rides around town.
And remember, only red M&Ms.
That's
remember,
right.
It's key,
Yes.
Rochester Limo. Remember
Yes.
that.
He
will flip his shit.
He likes warm Pepsi, no ice. If you do not fucking put ice in a plastic cup for Massey.
Your driver better not have a name with an initial D either.
Yes. Better scratch that out. So thank you to them. Also, we should mention a lot of people, I knew this was going to happen because tickets are for sale, and they think we're Ticketmaster. Like, we're sitting here with, a stack of 500 tickets, and it's like, dude, I need two last minute. Yeah. And we're not. We really had nothing to do with the tickets. But there are a lot of people that, things come up. They bought them 2 months ago, and now, that's why you don't RSVP, because something better came along, and they're not going to be able to attend Massey, but they've got these tickets, and it's a pretty hot ticket, and there's a lot of people looking for them. And so Mr. Massey was kind enough to set up on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, search Mike Massey.
There's a ticket exchange process.
He's got a Detroit ticket exchange.
That's helpful.
Yeah, and so people are already on there. I have 4 tickets available at the moment, 2 potential buyers.
Yeah,
they're going for $400 each.
Listener Kim emailed me today. So Kim and others, go to this spot, Mike Massey on Facebook, and you'll see it.
Yeah, so hopefully that helps. We could probably put a link to that right in our post today.
Sure.
Can we do that? So if you don't know how to do all that, you can look for it in our post as soon as the show is done today.
Mike, speaking of links, everyone should know about our affiliate links. You'll see our Amazon and Groupon links above the fold at DetroitCast.com. Check them out. Shop away. It doesn't cost more. The key is, however, that you click through our links. Also, make sure you're shopping MyPillow.com.
Yes.
For all your betting-related needs, use TDC code for the very best discount.
God's got his hand in this, and I truly believe that.
Yeah, I just closed that whole HR department down. Those guys were a bummer.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Easus? Not Hawaiian Big E, but our Detroit Big E.
This day in history with Big E.
Are you ready?
Sure. All right, well, this is actually a pretty big day, I think a lot of people would think. 1865, on this day, Congress passes the 13th Amendment. abolishing
that's a
slavery
big one.
in America. Now, I don't really have
Unlucky 13.
a lot
as
of
they
visual
say.
aids necessarily, but this is a
You don't have any pictures of slaves?
this was a rendering of what it kind of looked, what I guess it looked like with Congress passing, signing this into law.
Well, putty.
An artist rendition.
Sure.
Yep, just a bunch of white guys standing around,
So anyway, it's passed by the House Senate, or the Senate in April 8th, 1864, and by the House not until January 31st, 1865. Although not ratified, need to be ratified by 2/3 of the states. So it's not ratified until
Yeah, it's
December
tough to
6th.
get an amendment, huh?
December
Rightly
6th,
so.
1865. What?
It's hard to get an amendment.
It is very hard to get an
Yeah.
amendment passed. Then they made it that way. The founding fathers made it hard to
They're wise to do
make,
so, I
make
think.
amendments. And so it's ratified December 6th, 1865, and then it is, out there as law that there's no more slavery.
Are you glad for
Although-
that Amendment E? Are you happy with the 13th Amendment?
I might get into that a little bit later, Mike. Although,
I
if
didn't
you
know that was
read,
I didn't think that was a tough question. I thought it was kind of like hey, Jerry, but pedophilia, right? I mean, that's off the table.
Well, Jay.
here's
Oh,
the
no.
thing. Here's the thing.
Well,
Let me get into some of the other stuff maybe first. This is kind of interesting. There was the last 3 states to ratify it. Most states, other than 3, did it by 1870. Delaware didn't ratify until February 12, 1901.
fuck Delaware.
Kentucky, March 18th, 1976.
Shit.
And Mississippi, March 16th, 1995.
What?
Whoa.
They did not ratify that amendment. So in Mississippi until 1995,
Oh, man. I forgot all about that. That one's on us. My bad.
Technically, you could have had a
Lost it in the stack on the corner of the desk. I mean, what? Dude.
We've all seen those offices
Yeah.
that are just...
There was a
Too much paperwork.
Where is that damn 13th Amendment? I know that something.
I know it got sent to us. I know they sent it over.
Lisa, have you seen that 13th Amendment part anywhere? I gotta sign that thing.
There was attempts in 1810, 1860, and 1864, earlier in 1864, to try to make this. Although those attempts, one of them being the Crown Amendment, did not actually prohibit slavery. They actually just said there was going to be no laws in the Constitution saying that it was unconstitutional to say that you couldn't have slaves. A lot of people fought for the fact that a lot of Northern Democrats fought for the fact that they did not think it was constitutional to make an amendment saying that slavery was illegal.
Tell me my business,
So
sir.
actually,
Tell me I can't have them darkies mowing my lawn.
the Crowan, C-R-O-W-I-N, Crowan,
Sure.
Crowan Amendment was passed by both and signed by the president, but because the war started.
Do you have any more visual aids? Because you're losing me.
No, I don't.
I'm a visual learner.
Well, there aren't. Well, I kind of brought up this. I suppose I could bring this up. It's kind of a image.
Yeah,
of
I'm
it.
very interested in the history of the bill,
Sure.
as you have described it. However,
Sure, fine. But anyway,
Did you say that was the Crowan?
C-R-O-W-I-N amendment.
So, okay. All right, let's clear this up. The Crowan Amendment, C-R-O-W-I-N?
Yeah.
According to the Urban Dictionary, it's a small man with little testicles and long pubes.
Well, that's
not lying about that.
That's awesome.
You can't
man.
argue with that, obviously.
That's awesome.
I didn't know that existed.
No,
that's why we all had
what
blank
is
looks
it
on our
again?
face when you said Crowan.
What is it again?
A Crowan is a small man with little testicles and long pubes.
Albeit a narrow segment of the
That'd be
population,
the
but
worst.
they exist.
It's a sliver of
If you
society.
have
but
small testicles, you got to shave your. You definitely can't have long pubes. I mean, not a pube.
hanging off the testes, maybe you could. I would agree if it was a tiny dong.
Yeah, what are you going for? You're trying to change the subject, or what do you? I mean,
Well, if you can give it
going
a,
for
like
that
a,
viney look.
Well, if you can give it a nice, Will Akbar beard look to it.
Yeah,
kinda
just trying to
distract the
extend it
eyes.
down, right?
Sure. They used it in a definition. His bosses told him what to do. He was a nobody. He was the Crowan of the
Yeah,
establishment.
you're just growing a bigger nest down there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there you go. Obviously, that's what.
All
this
right,
was
the
named
Crowan
as.
Amendment.
Right.
Very good.
So
but
like
it-
an odd thing to include around the 13th.
for Congress
but
to
whatever.
get into that. I
But
don't
here's
know.
the thing: it was passed in 1861 and signed by the president. So technically, if it had been ratified, this would have been the amendment, and that amendment would have had in the Constitution that we would not have a law, that we could not make a law abolishing slavery. But because the Civil War breaks out, the momentum dies down, but a few states did ratify this version of it. The latest
How much
state,
later was it before Lincoln shot that guy in the Chevy Theater?
The latest state to try to do this Crowan version, Texas in 1963 did ratify this version of the amendment.
What?
Yes, in
There's too much ratification going on. I just
no, but I'm saying in 1963, Texas tried to go back to this obscure thing that is technically still in the books. Like technically,
they were trying to find a loophole to have slaves again.
Yes, if 2/3.
Shut up.
No, not to have slaves, but to say that it's not illegal. That the Constitution should not be able to say.
Oh, just like a state right issue.
Right, a state right issue. Yes, that's true.
That if I want them, I can have them. I don't want them, but I just want it clearly stated in that ratification, the Crowan one about the tiny bald guy with long pubes. I want it to be known that I can, if I choose, have them.
Here's the thing: if it's still out there, so if 2/3 of the state decided to go back and look at this, I guess it could happen.
Call into
hypothetically,
question the 13th Amendment. Wow. Okay.
Here was an interesting fact I did learn. I thought was funny to me. You know, a lot of us also know about the Emancipation Proclamation, which is Lincoln kind of saying that all the slaves are free from now on. It did not, abolish slavery, but he just said while the war was going on. And the reason that was interesting to me is that the British were actually helping out the South a lot because they felt like if the South had won, they'd have an inroad to go west and still kind of help the British Empire further along. But by Lincoln doing this, England had already pretty much said slavery was illegal. They'd banned it in years before. So by him doing that, they backed off and helping the South because they did not want it to look like they were pro-slavery. Because before this, the war could still be argued that it was states' rights, not necessarily just slavery. And now, once the Emancipation Proclamation is made, it seems more obvious that the war is about slavery, and so the Britons can't back the South anymore.
Boy, this is why I sucked in school.
Yeah, I'm going to need more visual aids.
You looked like you were paying attention to the teacher
I was
there.
trying.
I was
trying to track it.
I was playing Foursquare.
I need
gotta be
can you
honest
throw
with
up
you.
roots or something? I don't know. I need
please
something.
tell me, Mike,
Kunta
what you didn't
Kinte,
get about it.
Dude, like I
Chicken
said,
George.
I was in the middle of Smear the Queer in the Backyard while that was going on.
Please give me where you were lost, and I can.
I don't even know where. I checked out so long ago. I don't remember what it was.
Well, when he took it international, when he got into
Britain,
British view on it,
who want slaves or don't want slaves,
I'm still struggling.
But then we're not dealing with the South anymore.
Here's the thing.
I got to be honest with you. I'm still struggling with E's loss of credibility earlier on the Chappaquiddick issue, and so when I'm filtering all this through that, and I'm thinking, can I believe any word he's saying? I'm not sure I can.
Yeah, but do you strike any sort of difference between Big E, who made that statement, versus Professor Fady? No.
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to separate the two.
There's no shame in that.
Northern Democrats.
I want to go back to when I asked him that simple question of so do you think the 13th was a good one?
Fine, here we go.
Are we back to that?
Here's the thing. If you read the 13th,
there's a more than pregnant pause there.
If you read the 13th Amendment, here's how it's worded: neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, wherefore the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. And the thing
so you
is,
like the chain gang aspect of it.
No, here's the thing.
Wants people smashing rocks
I'm not
all
saying
day.
that the 13th Amendment wasn't good. I wasn't saying that. That wasn't my response.
On the whole, you're for it?
I'm definitely for the abolition of slavery and getting rid of slavery. But a lot of people believe that really the reality is although this says legally there's no more slaves in America, the law, the wording of you can have slaves as long as they're convicted by law. A lot of people believe absolutely
feels
that
bad for the prisoners.
This is just legal slavery going on in this country, and it was. I ended up watching a documentary on this that I saw on Netflix.
You two guys in your pro-criminal stance. You think everybody is the kid who was selling too much acid outside the Great
No. Here's the thing. I so went into this, watching this, wanting to be like, fuck that. Just don't sell drugs. Just don't do this, and you'll be fine. When this 13th Amendment is put into place in the South, back right in the 1860, late 1860s.
Seems to be a lot of extra words here. Can you?
Lots of them.
Yeah. You got this, E.
Here's the thing. This was totally...
As the crow flies,
I totally believe...
Point A to point B.
Okay, the South, after the Civil War, the South absolutely, it seems, just used this lining to just bring in any black guy they could to any for any crime, no
Trumped
matter
up
how big or how
charges.
small, trumped up charges,
Yeah.
and just saying, well, that's fine. And now they're using them because they can use them as slaves as long as they were convicted of a crime. And look, I'm not.
Hence his
I'm
pregnant
not.
pause.
Flag.
I'm not smart enough to repeat.
Stop right there.
Fuck you. But I'll say when I watch this video on the 13th Amendment, and you really go down the history of how this was treated and how this amendment can be worded to just pretty much have slavery without saying it's slavery, wink, wink.
So do you think that applies today? So are you bothered when you see prisoners making license plates for 7 cents a day?
I think.
I mean, do you think they should be getting like $15 an hour?
I don't
Feed them maggots and give them more license plates to make.
Here's my thing. It's not about the guy selling acid at the Grateful Dead show. You always do that to me, and it's not that guy.
It was on hard cardstock. You know how much that weighs?
They weighed the paper too.
Dude,
It was cardboard. It was
You
a
should
goddamn
watch. You
cardboard
should watch
box.
this documentary.
I will. I just
Jay should.
I think it's not outrageous to think that we could get them to eat something other than maggots, and I don't think it's crazy to think we could prevent, I don't know, butthole rapes in prison.
I don't
think
even care about that.
I don't think that helps the public when someone's trying to reintegrate.
That's not where I'm going.
That's my whole thing. I
That's
don't
not
feel
where-
bad for them. I don't care if they're making license plates. Good. Do something productive for society. Whatever. Get an education. Do all those things. I don't want a guy getting mass raped in prison and coming out twice the monster.
I think
he went
there's
in
so
as.
many more obvious arguments about how there's inequality in normal society than having to go look at our prison system. Honestly, if you want to look at how people are being inserted in the prison system and whether that's unfairly taking in too many black kids and so forth, sure. But,
Dude,
but
well,
what
they
happens
go
to them in
through
there?
No,
Are they
okay.
technically
Okay,
becoming
that's bullshit.
slaves within
That's
the
bullshit.
prison
That's
system?
bullshit,
I think
dude.
that's goofy,
no,
man.
that's bullshit to say that, it doesn't, okay, maybe they're getting in there unfairly, maybe these charges are trumped up, but when they're in there, well, they're a criminal. Oh, well. They talk about stories, man, about how they're absolutely not, they have so many cases that they can't even process them, so they just push to have them, what is it, what do you call?
No, you got this. You got it. No, you got it.
They
It's right
push.
there.
They push to have them make a deal. What's it called when you make it?
He's got it.
No, I don't care.
almost
It
did that.
doesn't matter if the
Sorry,
words are good or not to me. There's so much pressure to make a deal with the government because the government just sits there and tells them, well, dude, if you go to trial, you could have 20 years, but if you don't go to trial,
that's totally fair, dude. But I'm just saying, like, then
He's talking about systemic racism, isn't he?
he is, and that's fair, and that's a
yeah, it
huge
is.
point, and it exists. But to like go behind this 13th Amendment and make this like a 13th Amendment thing is kind of goofy to me.
I understand
Are
that.
you
but
talking about people that owned a plantation and then they would use a black guy under the guise that he was convicted of something to now you just plow fields all day?
Well, no, they were just after the Civil War happened. They just in the South they just arrested any black guy they could for the littlest thing, whether it's true or not. It doesn't matter. And now they can be in the court system or in the criminal system, and now you can do anything you want.
The
You can have
criminal
them dig
justice
ditches.
system is a joke. That's not the fault of the police.
I understand
It is,
that.
And there's a lot of people, rightly so, that believe that is
Nor
a
is it the
massive...
fault of the 13th Amendment.
Okay, but you know what? I would say what I would say to that is that this led me to watch this movie, and I'm just never gonna be, whatever. You can make fun of me all you want. I'm not gonna be able to articulate what I got out of some of this stuff. But when you get on about just eating maggots, when you get on about just eating maggots or this or that, and they're in there. Oh well, you see some of this stuff, and it's just, I think that you can't just say oh well because I think there's people in here that it's absolute bullshit. You're sitting here taking a kid.
There are some.
They're selling crack and they get a 30-year sentence while you got white guys on Wall Street did nothing. They do a line of coke, they get in trouble. It's like, dude, $2,000 fine, maybe nothing. Maybe a slap on the wrist.
Yeah,
and
there is definitely unfairness in this world.
That's
I
not,
agree with
that's
that.
not what I'm trying to say.
Quite as black
though.
and white as that sounds. You're right, Ian. I agree with you. I do. I think the system is rigged. I think there's a tremendous amount of money being made off the jail systems and the prison systems nationwide.
We all saw Shawshank Redemption.
Sure.
See what the warden was doing?
Well, maybe.
Well, maybe.
I changed a little something that day. Yeah, it's bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit to it, and there's terrible representation from lawyers. And you're talking about taking a plea, E.
No, yeah, the 13th Amendment, I was not trying to say.
I know, hold on. And so, just having a line that goes down blocks and blocks of poor black people who can't afford, and then it's just like, just take a plea, son.
Here's my objection talking about this issue in relation to the 13th Amendment. It's not as if people are using the 13th Amendment as a mechanism for what we just described.
But I'm arguing that it started.
The loophole exists because of the 13th Amendment. That if someone's been convicted of a felony, they can never vote again. If they've been convicted of a felony, they can.
I think that's
then you can use them as slave labor.
That's loosely where I was going with. I guess I would say that my thought would be is that it started a thought process of just a natural thought that they're in jail, they don't have these rights, and then you look at the people that are put in jail, and you're right. I'm not saying the 13th Amendment is bad. That's not what I'm saying.
Jesus, thank you for that lesson today.
You're welcome.
I feel better for it.
God damn it, we got to get to some email, dude. I wanted to talk about the world's oldest guy that died, but he'll still be dead on Monday.
He will.
Yeah.
Usually.
So I've had it for a couple days, but he's not going anywhere. So.
Gotcha. Hey, Hamlin Pubs, they're inviting you to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pub's great food, drinks, and atmosphere, whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with the family, or out for an evening with your girl. It's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations. We do have some email, Mike.
What do we got?
Well, let's see here. Isis, would you like to...
oh, boy.
Well, hold on for 1 second. Let me read this email, and then you can show the people the visual aid that Mike provides. Matt, dude, we have...
So many Matts.
It's
Is it
incredible.
The same Matt?
It's Matt.
Is it the same Matt?
No,
over
it's
and
not
over?
the same Matt. It's just a plethora of Matts.
Why don't you just go to like Mr. So-and-so, like last names? Get off the Matt train.
I don't know if people want you to do that. You know, Dear podcast heroes, a grievance has found me. No need for the clock. I will be quick. My grievance is over the top birthday celebrations at the workplace, more specifically unneeded and over the top desk decorating, including the look at me recipient who keeps these decorations up far too long. Jay, I know you're a visual learner, so I'd like to submit into consideration Exhibit A attached. This level of birthday cheer is in a large office environment. It's not only uncalled for, but I would like to add this person's birthday was at the beginning of October.
I'm already saying bona fide, by the way.
Attached is the picture.
Oh, boy.
This was at the beginning of October, gentlemen.
When was this? And this is still up?
This was taken yesterday.
What? Who is this person?
You bitch.
Wow.
Who is this fucking person? They should be in jail.
I gotta say,
I'm for them being in jail.
Can we give a nice shout out to Mylar, though? It is remarkable.
It is, yeah. The helium, the quality of that helium in those Mylar balloons, just stay up.
Yeah.
Erect
This
for
is
3
from
months.
October?
Nary a crevice in the side of that Mylar.
Dude. All right.
Nary an indent.
How do you feel about this? You don't like people being happy, so you probably don't like this at all.
I think birthdays are stupid. I think they're for little kids.
I would agree with that.
I completely agree with Matt's grievance, and we've discussed that before. I almost want to call it a stolen grievance.
I was going to say it could be, but I like it so much.
It is something that has annoyed me forever. These grown people who get off on the fact that it's their birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, notable, sure, I suppose. It's your birthday.
Is it notable?
Happy birthday, dude.
Is it notable?
Barely.
I think if it's your birthday, I feel like I owe your mom a call. Just be like, I'm sorry he did that to your machine.
That must have hurt.
That must have killed. Like having to reflect back on all those years ago when whatever just destroyed that thing for months on end. I'm not saying your mom specifically, Jay.
Yeah.
All moms were
Congratulations
destroyed.
for falling out of your mother's vagine.
Yes, and give your mother my best. I hope she healed up well. But you didn't have anything to do with it.
This is incredible. I mean, this is a scene that would be so annoying to walk by every day. You're on your way to the printer or something.
I can't believe he hasn't just.
I'd be pulling shit off there. Yeah, I'd be the last guy to leave in the office and just
boom. Somebody last guy in the office just starts taking down pieces of it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe I'm not going to rip the whole thing down, but you know what? The fucking Y right there. That's crank that.
Oh, I'd be so ripping that down, dude. At one point,
see, you wouldn't want to do the
see
Y.
That D. See how the D is kind of on the corner? That's easily. Oh, oops, that snagged with my pants there.
Yeah, I think if you take a middle Y, you're going to run the risk of the whole thing collapsing into itself. I think you'd be better off taking the front end H and going with happy birthday first, and then P birthday, and just little by little, just keep getting rid of it.
How about that stupid tinsel hanging from the ceiling?
Gone.
Shit.
I don't know if that's. Wait a minute. Do you think that's worse, or do you think the stuff on her chair is worse?
Dude, there's confetti on her credenza. How do you
look at her chair?
Wow.
How are you working in this space for 3 months?
Yeah. Can you file a complaint? Can you file a grievance at work for that?
In triplicate.
He started. I thought where he started going with this was the people that set these up and put these shows
Themselves.
on at the office where it's like, oh, it's Elaine's birthday on Friday. Don't forget. You got the cake, Mary? You know,
The committee.
The committee.
Yeah.
Thank you. And those of us who have worked in an office like that, where you've got multiple departments, and then there's a department that usually involves a lot of hens. You got this girl and that girl and so and so's secretary and his secretary, and they form a committee. And
The distribution of the card. The card goes around, and you have the sticky at the
you.
top with everybody's
Fuck.
name, and you X yours out when you're done signing it.
Fuck you and your card. That card is the biggest piece of bullshit.
Everybody's trying to find a different
ever.
way to say, have a great day.
Dude.
Hope your day was great.
And I usually get that. It's made its way through upstairs sales departments, HR department. Some asshole writes really big first, and then we're stuck with a corner thing.
Yeah.
And it's like you're like, if it's someone like I don't give a shit about, can't affect my career, but occasionally it's like, oh shit, it's Tom Bender's card. It's Doug Podell's card. You want to somehow stand out and not just go happy B-Day.
You would kiss people's asses on birthday cards? You just admitted you would.
I felt there was
Give
pressure.
me an example of what you would say to a Doug Podell. Douglas. Mr. Podell.
Mr. Podell.
Mr. Doc.
Mr. Doc of Rock. I cannot express to you in words on one card what a true honor it
But
has
allow me to
been.
try.
I'll do my best, sir. You just know you deserve more than this. It has been my honor as I think back on my historic run here at your fine establishment.
And great privilege.
Yeah, and great privilege. You have always been nothing but fair and honorable
To
to
serve
me.
underneath you, sir.
has been a true honor of my life. It's something I'll never forget.
Eternal gratefulness?
Yours in forever friendship, Mike Walters.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, mine would, I would just be like, oh, this is so pointless. Like having 60 people just go, happy birthday.
I know.
Congrats.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Special day.
Yeah, I know.
But
Dude,
then
it's the same thing happens on Facebook.
I know, it's the Facebook thing in card form. That's
Yeah.
all it is. If you're just going to write happy B-Day to someone when it's their birthday, stop.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, I've never
Tell
had
a
to
nice
deal with
story
it.
about something about them that you know. Don't happy B-Day me. It's a waste of typing.
I've never really had to deal with it, but the problem I would
By the way,
imagine
Mike's birthday is September 12th. So.
the biggest problem
You
I would
don't have it.
imagine.
I think you were beamed down.
I
I
was
believe you
beamed
told
here.
us
I do not
last
have a birthday.
when I asked your birthday.
Correct.
You said you were beamed here. So
is that like there would be politics then? Because then some idiot that actually cared would be like, if you were just like, no, I'm not doing it. Then it's like, whoa, Jay didn't sign this card. Well,
course.
remember this?
Yeah, there'd be
Like, and
backlash.
it's like, why? You'll remember this that he didn't just write.
by the way, if you're the name checking guy, you're an asshole too. Like if you're going to name check the card to make sure who signed it, you're a dick.
Well, it's usually one of the coordinators, one of the party planners who puts that sticky at the top, and then they go through and they write everybody's name and put a little box next to it. So after you signed, you
Well, what
check
if you-
the
what if you
box
just checked it and
give
then didn't-
give it
Really?
to Steve. Then Steve knows, oh, Jay's name is checked, so I got to go find someone else.
Wow. See, I don't remember doing that. I
Yeah.
remember someone would just come around. Hey guys, make sure you sign this for so and so.
I wonder if you checked your name though. That's how you could tell if the guy really cared. If you just checked your name but didn't sign it, and then later you got like
It's not a bad idea.
Devious.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those. I occasionally I didn't mind the cake aspect of those days.
How about the happy birthday song?
Oh, I wouldn't. Dude, I was refused to participate.
It's
guy.
hilarious to think about. You're just there to do your job, and all of a sudden you're herded into this lunchroom or conference room, and you're asked to sing together.
Yeah.
I never had a problem with it. In fact, I would usually just, with
I
gusto.
could see you with
Happy
gusto.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. That's the way to do it instead of just trying to sit there and.
Were you the guy? There was always one clown at the end of it when people started clapping that would go, "How old are
Oh
you?"
my God, Ted.
Yeah, fucking Ted. And it's like, oh, I bet Ted's gonna jump in. Just wait.
Everybody subordinate to Ted just laughs uproariously.
You start elbowing your buddy in the ribs. Just wait till the end of this. Watch Ted. It's his move. How old are you?
And then his assistants just die.
Oh, Ted.
Ted, stop.
Oh, Ted.
Stop it.
And Ted's just a way more overweight than he should be. And his ties askew. He's got a bushy mustache, and this is his moment.
Oh, you know Ted.
I know Ted very well. Yeah, but, dude, this happened. This is so funny you say that about the kitchen conference room party going on. And
Dude, it's
like,
across the board. Every workplace in America.
it's
this
the
happens.
same thing. It's people that are like just trying to check hours off the day.
So uncomfortable. It's like, what are we doing?
We would be in our office, and it was like, finally you're done. It's like you're doing interviews and production shit and blah blah blah, and you'd get done, and you'd throw your fucking bag over your shoulder, and you just want to get to your damn car. I'm out of here. And you're walking through that, and it's like, oh, it's kind of going around people.
Oh,
it's
Mike,
like,
Mike, it's Judy's birthday.
Did you say happy birthday to Judy? Yeah. This is when you grab your phone. I don't know what else to do. Yeah, no, I know. Hi, sorry, yeah, Judy.
Judy,
happy
thumbs
birthday,
up. Yeah.
Jude.
Hope it's a great day.
Hold on, Grandma. I'll be. Happy birthday, Judy. I gotta run, Nana. And, I hated it. Hated it.
Mike will save the rest for tomorrow. Bonafide grievance, by the way, Matt.
Very bona fide. You mean Mike Massey?
Yeah.
Officially Mike Massey.
It's Mike Massey Day tomorrow.
Very good. We'll look forward to that. We're going to have him jam here. Be a lot of fun. So I guess we'll kill it there. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.